Welcome, ladies. Welcome to Marketing with Ease and Authenticity. So excited for this webinar. I know it's such a popular topic. I mean, it's definitely something that I hear most from businesswomen. They're struggling, right? They're like, how do I find more and more clients? They're having a difficult time finding new leads and converting those leads to new paying clients. And, of course, without a paying client, it's really difficult to have a successful business. So we're going to actually dive on into Marketing with Ease and Authenticity. I want you to learn to love sales and marketing because it's absolutely 100% possible. And without having effective sales and marketing, it is nearly impossible to have a profitable business. So just real quickly, I know that there's let me actually quickly look at the names here. I recognize some names, but there's lots of brand new names. So many of you don't know me from Adam. So just real quickly, there I am in my Giants gear. I don't know if we've got any. Let me actually open up the chat function. If a little bit of the picture or words get cut off by the chat function, I apologize. I just love to see what you're up to in there. But I don't know if you have any Giant fans on the call, but I'm a New York Giants fan, so there I am in my Giants garb. And my husband and son, so I've been married to fabulous Eric for the last 10 years. He's a high school teacher, and my son there is 7 years old in second grade, Dylan, and they're both Panthers fans, so at least they made it to the playoffs this year. So I am just a proud wife, a proud mama, and a Christian. And the reason I say that is you'll see when I talk about sales and marketing is I want us to be authentic in sales and marketing. I mean, those of you who have been following me for a while know that that's just who I am, right? That my main purpose for this business is I just had a super big desire to get back in the home, right? I wanted that time to grow into that wife and that mom and that woman that I wanted to be, and working a 9-to-5 job and just rushing through life and just, going through the motions and wishing my week away for the weekends. I was like, this is not how I'm supposed to live. And for me, that burning desire to get back in the home, it was coupled with the fact, like I said, my husband being a teacher, and we're down here in North Carolina, and it is like the second to last lowest paying teacher state. So it is nearly impossible to live on a teacher's salary if I were to stay home. So not only that, but I was the primary breadwinner, right? So I was passionate about getting back in the home and having a business that wasn't just going to bring in, $1,000, $2,000 a month, but that was a highly profitable business. And I know that so many of you can relate. For whatever reasons, you want to get back in the home, right? You want that flexibility, and you want to do it within a very profitable business model. So I have been in the training and the coaching world for as long as I can remember. Right out of college, I started as an accountant, but then I quickly got into human resources and training and coaching, and got a master's degree in adult education and coaching at NC State down here in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I first was bitten by the entrepreneurial bug about 10 years ago, and I had actually created my own network marketing company, or organization, should I say. It's with Mary Kay, and it was great. But what I loved about it was I had a whole unit of women, and I loved our weekly training meeting. That was what I loved about it. I loved encouraging, inspiring. I love to simplify the whole business building process, right? There's so much information out there, and there's so much to it that I love to break it down and show them step by step how to do it. So I actually, from there, that business model wasn't for me. It's wonderful, but it wasn't for me. Again, what I took from there was my love of training and mentoring, and I grew this mentoring company from scratch. It was just a seed of a dream. At the time, I just knew, you know what? I want to help women business owners regardless of what business they're in. And I want to help them grow that business around their family, right? I want them to have your cake and eat it too, even though many say you can't have that, right? I want them to have a business where it's built around their family. For many of my clients, they want to have this highly profitable business while working, 20 to 30 hours a week. For me, too, it's important that I only work during the day while my son is at school, from 9 to 3:30, Monday through Friday, and Friday's a half day, like a half-day optional day on Friday. And actually, what I'm growing into a schedule for 2014 is to work just from 10 to 2. 10 to 2. So, again, I know many of you want that as well, and it's absolutely possible with getting a sales and marketing funnel up and running that's working well, getting as much of it on auto drive as possible, and really streamlining the heck out of your business. So like I said, I grew into this dream business, this highly profitable, only working part-time hours during the day, and I did it by being authentic, by just being me, and by being super consistent. If I could share a story with you, when I was then a Mary Kay sales director, I was actually then home. I was home with Dylan. And then when I had the seed of desire for this business, I had a choice. And the choice that I made was, you know what, I'm building this business, but at this point it's just a dream. I had no idea who I was exactly going to help or how I was going to help them or what my company was going to be about. So I did not want to build this business from a place of, lack and scarcity, having no money at all. Again, would be nearly impossible. We'd have to sell our house. It'd be nearly impossible for us to live on my husband's salary. So I said, you know what? I don't want to build this business from a place of lack. I'm going to go get a job. After I cried and cried and cried, I went and got a job. And I said, you know what? This job is seeding. This is my investment, if you will. It's funding this dream business. And I will leave that job as soon as my coaching business income replaces my law firm income. So I was blessed. I was able to find a great job as an office manager at a law firm, and it was wonderful. It just wasn't for me. I'm not a JOB type of person. I feel like there is so much more and for me to help women all across the United States. So for me then, what did that mean? That meant that I needed to be super consistent, right? That meant that while I was working a full-time job, creating a business from scratch, I worked Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays over lunch from 12 to 1. I worked Thursday evenings. That's when I did some of my coaching. I did some of my coaching actually over lunch. The ladies knew that I was in my car, over lunch break in the parking lot. But I did it consistently. And then on Saturdays I would work as well. That's when I'd be writing my e-zine, my newsletter. That's when I would be putting together my marketing material. Maybe I was doing a free webinar. So I had very limited hours to do it, but it was that consistency. And it was that consistency to do when, which I'll talk about in a minute, when there was times when I was like, of course there was anything I wanted to do on a Saturday other than write my e-zine, right? And I was thinking, well, are they really going to notice? Are they really going to care if they don't receive another email in their email inbox I was doing it for the following Thursday. But I did it anyway. Just figure out what are those simple strategies, those couple of rinse and repeat strategies that I was just going to keep doing consistently. And then where it's grown to it shocks me, but it shouldn't shock me, again, because of the consistency of where my business is today. So I left the law firm. It was about a year and a half ago. And at this point, what I do is I mentor women that are especially in the service-based industries to experience significant results. I don't want them to take 2, 3, 4, 5 years to get their business up and running where they are consistently making, $5,000, $8,000, $10,000 a month. It doesn't need to be that way. My passion, I'm taking a stand for these women, and I want them to get to the top of that mountaintop. That top of the mountaintop being, they've got a really strong list. They are adding hundreds of new ideal clients and leads to their list every single month. They've got their rinse and repeat strategies. They've got these offers. It's easy to sell people into their offer. That's the results that I want for them. So what we do is we figure out what is their profitable offer. How do they package their time and their expertise? How do they open up the floodgates, is how I like to call it, to more and more ideal clients every single month? And how do they sell people into that offer? What's that conversion mechanism for them to convert the leads to sales? So that's a bit about me, and that's enough about me. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about you. I'm actually going to open up the chat function for a second, and as I'm sharing this, I'd love for you to share, what do you think has been tripping you up with marketing? What has been tripping you up with marketing? So many of you, I'm sure, are feeling that you're having a hard time finding new clients. You know they're there. You just don't know how to reach them. And you're just not seeing the consistent financial results that you want or that you need. Right? There's a big difference between the financial results we want and the financial results we need. financial raise we need, I mean, that's just to give you peace of mind, right? That's let you have a good night's sleep, so you don't wake up in those 2 a.m. sweats in the middle of the evening being like, oh, my gosh, can I do this? Like, where's the money coming from? Am I going to be able to find new clients? We got to get out of that space, right? And it's so much easier than you think when you just get the basics of your sales and marketing funnel up and running and you're consistent. Because who can we help when we are so stuck by fear, right? And we're so overwhelmed about how to market. That's, again, one of the biggest things. Of course, it comes down to how do I find new clients is how am I supposed to market? Or I don't like sales and marketing, right? I'm a business owner because I love my craft. I'm a massage therapist, and I love giving massages. This whole idea of sales and marketing just seems, we have thoughts that are associated with that. Maybe that we're being pushy, or that it's sleazy, or it's these, one-liners or overcoming objections. That's not what sales and marketing is about. Yes, that's the way that some people do sales and marketing, but it's not going to be effective. So we're overwhelmed by sales and marketing, and that's the key purpose of today's webinar, is to really simplify that for you and to get you as quickly as possible out of feeling paralyzed by fear. Because if you're paralyzed by fear, by lack, by, oh my gosh, where's the money, where are the clients, how are you going to get transformations for your clients? So when you can get a sales and marketing funnel up and running, you can get your business off of life support and run it from such a different place, such a different place. So here's a common one in the chat function. Thanks. So no time to market because I'm doing client work all day and into the evening. Absolutely. Now, I'd even like to touch on that. A lot of folks want to ask me, well, how much of my time should I spend marketing? I don't actually have a slide on this, but I just wanted to take a detour for a second. How much of my time should I spend marketing? And when I work with my clients, we create their success calendar. And we say everyone's success calendar is going to be different, right? Like for me, I said that I'm working from 9 to 3:30, Monday through Friday with a half day on Friday. So let's say that's 20 hours a week. Well, we want to create and figure out when to be working on what so that 80% of your work time is spent on what I call watering your money tree. So 80% of that 20 hours would be 16 hours. And that money tree, I wish I sort of did have a visual, but that money tree, think of that tree having 3 main branches. One branch is working your marketing plan. One branch is your time with your clients, right? Your actual time with your clients, one-on-one or group coaching, and then the other one, would be, it really depends on your business, but for me, my other branch is actually when I'm creating new content or refining my content, my offerings, my programs, my services. So we need to make time to market, right? Because if we're not watering our money tree, so yes, that time with your client, that client work is important. We just want to look at your schedule to see where we can get your couple of rinse and repeat marketing strategies up and running, because they don't need to take a whole heck of a lot of time, especially when they're strategies that fit your personality, they fit your strengths. So, okay, great. Thanks for sharing. And keep going, too. Anyone else? Share where it is that you are struggling with. I'm not sure how and where to start marketing. Okay, yeah. So you may not even have a sales and marketing funnel. If any of you are feeling like this lady here, having a hard time finding new clients, the money's not coming in quick enough, you're overwhelmed about how the heck do I market, you don't have time to market, then your sales and marketing funnel is either broken or just non-existent. I mean, there's some clients that I start working with and we realize, oh my gosh, all 3 parts of your sales and marketing funnel were non-existent, right? So you were working, but was it working on the right stuff? So here are your 3 main parts of your sales and marketing funnel. And let me go ahead and let me see if I can get the pen function here working. Here we go. I love doing this pen function. Sometimes it messes up the screen, but it's all good. So we first want your sales and marketing funnel, you want to be filling the top of your sales and marketing funnel with lots and lots of new leads of your ideal client. So this essentially is working your marketing plan. When you work your marketing plan, you'll be able to fill the top of your sales and marketing funnel with lots and lots of new, ideal, hungry, ideal clients, okay? So that's what we're talking about today, your marketing plan. So most people do not have a marketing plan. They're either not marketing consistently enough, or maybe they're marketing too hard but not effectively. So your sales and marketing funnel might be broken or clogged there. Or maybe thinking, no, that's not an issue. I'm meeting tons and tons of ideal clients. It may be broken here. Maybe you're meeting all these people, but you're not keeping in touch. Maybe you don't have a keep-in-touch strategy. And a keep-in-touch strategy does not need to be anything too elaborate. I mean, you probably get some people's e-zines or e-newsletters, and you're overwhelmed because you're like, oh, my gosh, they did it perfectly. Look at that video. And, mine are not perfect. They definitely weren't perfect when I was writing them on a Saturday, right, when my list size was, 10 or 20, 100. But you know what? I got a keep-in-touch strategy in place. For each of us, it's a different strategy. It might be a different strategy. But if you don't have this, your sales and marketing funnel is broken because all these new ideal clients are going out a big old hole, right? So it's broken. You're losing all of these new leads that you worked so hard on. Or you might be thinking that, you know what, no, that's not the issue, Claire. I'm working my marketing plan. I'm meeting lots and lots of new ideal clients. I'm keeping in touch. I'm developing a relationship with them. I'm sharing. I'm adding value. But no one's buying. If no one is buying, if the money is just not coming in, or it just seems like such a struggle for people to buy, then the last part of your sales and marketing funnel is broken or clogged. And there's a couple things that goes into this piece, converting to sales. One is we work so hard on getting leads, right? Many of you probably have an online component of your business, and you refer to it as your list, right? You're working so hard on growing your list. But if we're not converting to sales, if we don't have a sales conversion, and that's all going to be dependent on the type of product that you're offering, your service, the price point. Generally speaking, it's either a sales page, right? It's sales copy on your website that describes what you have to offer, or it's actually picking up the phone and having a sales conversation with someone. So it really depends on what it is, and sometimes it's a combination of both. But if I went to many of your sales pages, especially let's say you're a life coach, if I went to your sales page, I bet you that sales page is doing you no justice. It's doing you no good, right? It's just a vague description. You might even have an hourly rate. You sell by the hour, and it's $50 an hour. There needs to be some improvement to your sales conversion there, your sales page, okay? Or maybe it's having a sales conversation. But ultimately, this whole part of your sales and marketing funnel might be broken if you're not selling something and packaging it in a way where it is just truly irresistible for your ideal client, where they're so hungry for it. They're like, really? You can help me get there? Great. Let's start working. How do we do this? So that's what we want. All right. And let me get rid of these. There we go. Perfect. And there was a comment, too, about so far only word of mouth seems to work. Nothing done regarding marketing has paid for itself. So I can tell you that even those who have an online business, like right now my business is online, meaning the mass majority of my clients I've never met face-to-face. The mass majority of my clients are all in different states in the United States. Or last night I spoke with someone who's in Australia, right? They're not people that I've met face-to-face. But that's not true when I first started growing my business. Like the clients that I said that I was coaching in my car over my lunch hour in the parking lot, they were people that I had relationships with or word of mouth. Those were mainly from the initial live networking that I was doing, where I was really able to develop relationships with that individual or a referral. So that is true that having that piece of referral, word-of-mouth marketing is one of the best ways to grow your business the first 3 years or so, but we do want a couple of additional strategies as well. So we want that, but we want to add to it as well, Jenny, with your question there. So, all right, how many of you feel like your sales and marketing funnel is either broken, parts of that's broken, or not even existent? So go ahead and type in the chat function. That would be great. And as you're doing that, what are we going to talk about today? How to market with ease and authenticity. Even if that seems like it's impossible for you, it's not at all. So we're going to talk about what's been sabotaging you from getting more and more clients. What has been maybe even unconsciously sabotaging you? And how do you get more clients? By actually doing less. And we're going to talk about some marketing strategies, and I really want you to be thinking about ones that fit your personality. And then what can I keep talking about having a marketing plan and working your marketing plan. Have a plan and work the plan. That's going to fill the top part of your funnel. But what might a marketing plan look like? So, yes, I see non-existent for your sales funnel, or broken, or haven't even determined what that's going to be. Absolutely. The sooner, you can imagine though, the sooner we have a sales and marketing funnel up and running for your business, oh my gosh, it just makes all the difference. So, okay, what's been sabotaging you? Even though most of you right now, right, I know you, and I know what's been sabotaging you, because you are like all the other women that are on this webinar, because it's so common, right? First of all, what's been sabotaging you is you've probably been getting sidetracked. You've been getting sidetracked because we're at a time where there are so many different ways to network. There are so many different ways to market, right? Should you have a blog? Should you have a YouTube channel? Should you go to live networking events? Should you be on Google+? Should you be on LinkedIn? Right? We get so sidetracked, and it's not normally intentional, but we're just, we just heard from Beth that, gosh, a blog works great for Beth, so let me run on over and get a blog up and running. And oh my gosh, I just heard from so-and-so that her Facebook marketing's been going great in her Facebook page, so let me run on over to Facebook and let me get a page up and running. Oh my gosh, that's doing us no good. Getting sidetracked and going from one thing to another is just going to leave us tired, broke, and really doubting whether we can ever truly figure out this sales and marketing thing, and doubting whether we can figure out this business thing. And a lot of times, too, we're looking for that magic bullet, right? We're looking for that one strategy, and a lot of times it's from hype online, right? Just get this one app or do this one thing, and you'll get, thousands and thousands of new Facebook fans starting tomorrow. And part of it is that it's a loud and crowded marketplace, and that's sort of how some marketing communications or messages have been to us, right? That, hey, this is the magic bullet. This is what you've been looking for. But there isn't a magic bullet. Marketing, by definition, means you're building relationships with people, right? I'm not talking about old-time sales where it is this, they're just following this prescribed sales message or dialogue. Or right now, this day and age, sales and marketing is about building relationships. So there's not overnight success, but you can get there years quicker when you figure out just a couple strategies, get really good at them, and get your sales and marketing funnel up and running. You're just moving on too soon. I love this picture, this visual. I wish it was just a lady in heels. But what is happening, and chat in the chat function, if this has ever happened to you, is you're just moving on to the next new and bright strategy before you fully maximize the current strategy. And you're working so hard on pushing this boulder up this mountain, and you let the boulder fall back down the mountain before you got it to the other side, right? Before it went over the top of that mountain, and then you build momentum, and you're like, whee! The rock's falling. It's falling down, and it's so easy. You're like, oh my gosh, where are all these people coming from that want to work with me? You're not benefiting from the gift of momentum. I can't even tell you how many blog sites, websites that are blogs that are left dormant, right? They work so hard on getting that website up, and the perfect header and the perfect slogan, and then they haven't written anything in months. That's not going to do you any good. You worked so hard on pushing that boulder up the hill, but you let it slide back down because you got busy with other things. Or how many Facebook pages, for example, they worked hard on the Facebook page, and they haven't communicated anything in like a month or so. I'm just seeing all of these social media profiles and YouTube channels and just everything that are left dormant. Yep, it looks like you guys can totally relate, right? Yep, not even 1 boulder but 3 boulders. Absolutely. You're moving on too soon. And maybe you can relate. I've had folks tell me this, They're like, well, live networking doesn't work for me. I just didn't sell anything at that live networking event. And I'm like, what? If you went to that live networking event with the intention to sell, it was the wrong intention. I talked about how sales and marketing is about building relationships. So if that's going to be one of your 3 core strategies, live networking, I'm going to ask you, what are your consistent steps? A lot of times they're not these big, huge things. You're just being intentional, and you're just being consistent. It might be that you go to 2 live networking meetings a week. You don't just go willy-nilly whenever it fits into your schedule, right? And it may be that each networking meeting you go to, you're going to talk with at least one other business owner. You're going to hold at least one one-on-one. And I always encourage my clients to do it the same. You're going to that networking meeting, see who else is RSVP that you haven't chatted with in a while, shoot them a quick message, and see if you guys can meet before or after that networking meeting. You do that consistently, that's where the word of mouth, the referrals, the clients are going to come in. Or folks may say, I just didn't get any clients from Facebook. I don't get this whole Facebook thing. I don't see how you can actually, make money. And then I pull up their Facebook page, and I'm like, Judy, you haven't talked to your community in like 2 months. Of course it's not going to work for you. And even when you post, right, a small percentage of your folks are going to see it, especially if Facebook feels like you're not real serious about it. So if Facebook's one of your strategies, then I would ask, okay, great. What are some consistent steps that you can commit to doing? Right? It may be that you make 3 posts a day on your Facebook page. It may be that you intentionally go out on your Facebook page at least 15 minutes a day just to see who's been engaging and respond, so you can respond to your fans, right? You can respond back to questions or comments. And so I also want you to remember this visual. Those of you who are saying, yep, that's me, guilty as charged, remember this visual. Put on your marketing blinders. Put on those sunglasses. And that big old diamond, right, that next new shiny object that you all now need to be, let's just say, for example, Google+, which is, it's a wonderful strategy if it's one of your 3 strategies. Great. I'm not dissing Google+. But if you have a marketing plan, if someone said to me, Claire, you really need to be on Google+, I'd be like, that's great. Not right now. I am working my marketing plan fully. When I reevaluate my marketing plan, that may make sense for me to do that. But right now, I'm going to give myself the gift of putting on my marketing blinders, working my marketing plan, working it consistently. The bang for your buck you'll be able to get. The amount of the ways that you're able to then streamline your marketing activities when you truly put on these marketing blinders is tremendous. And you're going to spend so much less time worrying about marketing. But some of you may be thinking, but Claire, I mean, I see these people over here, and look at her. I mean, it's just so easy for her. I mean, she's getting these new clients, and she doesn't look all stressed. And, look at her. It's so much easier for her. But she would tell you a totally different story. She would tell you, no, it was a journey. It took persistence. It took consistency of doing the same things over and over again. Like what I shared before, it took consistency of me keeping in touch with my list, right? Sending out an email, creating an e-newsletter. So it takes those things, even though she would say, and I was wondering, in those early years, I was wondering if anyone was listening, if what I was doing was really making a difference. But that's what it takes. That's what it takes. So what's been sabotaging you from getting more and more clients is you've been completely getting sidetracked. Know that it's common, right? They have a name for it, the next shiny object syndrome. They have a name for it. But do not let that cripple you anymore. Give yourself a sigh of relief, right, that you don't need to jump on the next marketing fad. That actually, I believe doing that cripples your business. All right, so how do you get more clients by actually doing less? So there are some of you, and you tell me which camp you're in, the ones that are on the chat function. There are some of you on this call who are working way too hard. You're working way too hard with marketing, right? You're running to this networking event, and then you're posting on Facebook, but you're most likely just doing a little bit of everything. You're probably have your hands in way too many marketing strategies and are leaving them dormant. You're pushing the boulder up the hill for too many things and letting the boulder slide down before you get that gift of momentum. But there's others of you who simply are not marketing enough, right? When I talked about how we should be spending 80% of our work time on on watering our money tree, and how 1/3 of your money tree is working your marketing plan. So 1/3 of an example I gave, if you were working 20 hours a week, 80% of that is 16 hours on watering your money tree, and 1/3 of that is how much we should spend marketing. So where are you at? Are you marketing too much, but just doing it inefficiently because you're just doing a little bit of everything and you're giving up on things too soon and you're just not doing them consistently enough? Or are you really just not marketing nearly enough? Are you like the best kept secret out there? Because a lot of times that's true. A lot of times your issue is that simply not enough people know about you. They don't know exactly who you help and how you help them. You are the best kept secret. Okay? So, yeah, sometimes we feel like we've got no time to market, not enough time to market, just need better time management. Yep, a little bit of both. Okay, great. All right, so how can you actually get more clients by doing less? First of all, it's figuring out who the heck you're marketing to. And I could tell you may have heard this concept before, but I'll also say the majority of you probably have not done this exercise and embraced this exercise, where who truly are you marketing to? And actually, I like to even get further and say creating an ideal client character. I'm going to introduce you to my client character in a minute, but if we are just marketing, when I was in Mary Kay, for example, the advice I was given was market to everyone with skin, right? Everyone with skin. Well, everyone with skin is hanging out everywhere. And the skincare needs of someone in college versus, a retiree versus a stay-at-home mom versus a working professional were very different. So it is very overwhelming if you feel like you're marketing to everyone, and then you have a very watered-down message. My message was more like, look and feel great. Versus when I embraced this concept, and my ideal client character was actually a stay-at-home mom. She had a couple of young kids, and she didn't want to, do the whole 9 yards. She didn't want to do, 3 eyeshadows and eyeliner, mascara. She just wanted something super quick, 5 minutes that she can do with a child on her right leg and a child, tugging at her left leg. And when her husband came home from work, she did not want him to say, like he had been saying, honey, are you feeling okay? That's what she wanted. And I then created the Mommy Makeover. And the Mommy Makeover was with just a couple of core products, super quick. They looked great. I had Mommy Makeover dinner events, and I directly marketed to them. You can imagine how that changed my world when I was figuring out, okay, where do I connect with this stay-at-home mom, right? The stay-at-home Susie. Where is she hanging out, online and offline? Where she'd be open to my message, where she'd be open to hearing my tips, where she'd be open to an invitation to her upcoming Mommy Makeover event. That's very different than where is everyone with skin hanging out, right? So we want to do that. We want to figure out who our ideal client character is, and then we want to start building that relationship with them. That's why that middle part of your sales and marketing funnel, and don't feel bad if you're like, oh my gosh, Claire, you're making me feel bad because I don't have the 3 parts of my sales and marketing funnel up and running. You're in good company. Don't worry. Most businesswomen don't. That's why most businesswomen are struggling. But please don't feel bad it's something very quickly you can get up and running. Just some type of keep in touch strategy. So once I met this stay-at-home Susie, and she came to a Mommy Makeover event, it's just me simply saying, well, how am I going to keep in touch with her? What makes sense, and not necessarily what the company was mandating, or what made sense for me, and for me to put myself in her shoes. If I was at stay-at-home Susie, how would I want to be kept in the loop? So we got to do that. We got to see that it's a relationship, and also this last point is very important. Is for us to know and be okay with the fact that not everyone is going to be your ideal client. Like even for me, not every stay-at-home mom was going to be my ideal client. And an example that I love to give, and for us to truly be okay with that, right? Not for our feelings to be hurt or for us to feel like we need to convince someone. And let me give you an example. I don't know if any of you are with a wonderful company called Melaleuca, and the reason I'm giving this example is because I am the customer. And I could tell you that if, 8 years ago, someone had come to me with these wonderful Melaleuca products, right, and the cleaning products that essentially a child can drink accidentally, right, ingest, and they're not going to die, and to remove toxins from my home, I wouldn't have been interested. To be honest, I was not. I didn't really think that stuff was that important, and to me, it was just as convenient if I'm going to the grocery store to go ahead and pick up the cleaning products or whatever other products then. So I was not an ideal client, and I would not have wanted to be convinced that I was crazy for keeping these toxins in my home, right? I just wasn't an ideal client. And then this is about 7 years ago, I had gone through very super advanced breast cancer when my son was just born, and a year and a half of all the surgeries and chemotherapy and radiation, and I was at a very different place. At that point, I did want to remove toxins from my home, from my life, and I was seeking a solution at the time. And it was a perfect time when I met someone from Melaleuca. And I was looking for the solution. I was willing to pay for the solution, and it was perfect, right? I was a joy to work with. And I could tell you that I'm not there yet, but I'm actually getting to the point where I so love this whole natural, organic, more lifestyle that I've actually been toying with, I wonder if I can just make my own cleaning products, right, my own laundry detergent, like making my own stuff. And if I ever get to that point, I too would not be a Melaleuca client, an ideal client, right? And I wouldn't want to be convinced that, well, gosh, they're not nearly as effective. And so you can see that even me, right, I'm the same exact person, and the Melaleuca products it's the same company, it's the same products, but there was points in my life, when I was an ideal client, and those when I wasn't. So if we can just take the pressure off ourselves and know and be okay with the fact that not everyone's going to be our ideal client, and that when they are an ideal client, they're going to be so much more fun to work with. They're going to be someone that you want to work with. So let me give you another example. Let's say you're a health coach. We probably have some health coaches on the call. Instead of saying I'm a health coach and that you market to anyone with a life, right, anyone who wants to feel better and lose weight, what if this health coach actually focused on the brides and those brides who wanted to lose weight for their wedding? And they got to know anything and everything about the bride and how to prepare the bride before the wedding to look great and the honeymoon. And then again, instead of figuring out, well, how do I market to anyone with a life, they would be marketed figuring out, well, where are bride-to-bees hanging out, online and offline? Where would they be open to my message? Where are they looking for my solution? And then you can imagine you tailor your marketing message, how to lose those last 5 pounds so you look phenomenal in your wedding dress, or 10 pounds, whatever the brides are wanting. You would tailor your marketing message and your packages directly to that bride-to-be. It's such an easier, more powerful, profitable way to run a business. And some of you may be thinking, oh, gosh, creating an ideal client character, I don't want to limit who I sell to, right? That just feels like I'm limiting. You're not limiting who you sell to. You're just getting clear on where you spend your limited marketing time, money, and energy. And trust me when I say you're actually going to be increasing your marketing effectiveness exponentially when you do this. So to start thinking of an ideal client character, I'd love for you to consider that when you're done with this webinar, your phone magically rings. And it is someone who wants to work with you. And it could be a particular person, it could be one of your favorite customers, or it could be a fictional person. My ideal client that I'll introduce you to, she's actually a combination. She's a combination of an ideal client and fictional. But anyway, this person, there's a person on the other end of this line, right? There's a person. And so it's not someone who's, between the ages of 30 and 60, right? So it's a person. And he or she's going to be a joy to work with. They are looking for the solution that you provide. They're willing to pay for the solution. They're going to get great results working with you because of their specific challenges. They're going to be a walking billboard for you. So who is that person? Because our paradigm shift is we want to find more of them. We want to get out of the convincing game and find more of them. So here's my ideal client character. This is Ready to Ramp It Up Rhonda, and she's in a service-based business. She's actually a health coach. She is 37. She's got 2 young kids. She lives in a different state from me. She's got the bits and pieces of her business up and running. She's been helping some clients get results, but her business is almost stalled. She's not bringing in consistently, $5,000, $8,000, $10,000 a month. She feels like she's overwhelmed. She feels like she doesn't have time for things in her business. So that's who I help, Ready to Ramp It Up Rhonda. So I figure out where is Ready to Ramp It Up Rhonda and where she be open to my message. And I'll share my 3 marketing strategies with you too in a minute as well. So that's what it's about. It's about filling that top of your funnel with your ideal client. So figuring out where does Ready to Ramp It Up Rhonda, for me, I know where she's at. She's at live networking events around here. She's on Facebook. She's on Facebook business-wise and personally. She is a sponge for information, right? She's looking to sign up for free webinars, free teleseminars. That's where she's at. She's at YouTube. She's in front of Google. She's typing in, how do I find new clients? How do I create a marketing plan? She's over at YouTube looking for training videos. That's where Ready to Ramp It Up Rhonda is. So getting more clients by doing less, it comes down to this statement. Instead of moving 10 things forward an inch, move 3 things forward a mile. Okay? So instead of having your hands in too much, just pick a couple, pick about 3, and do them fully. And then again, you ask yourself, where can I find more Ready to Ramp It Up Rhondas on and offline? So question is this something we can ask on Facebook? Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to ask me questions there as well. But ask those who have chosen – I'm sorry. That's not your question. Ask those who have chosen to follow you where they like to hang out. Well, absolutely. I mean, I don't know if you ever survey, send out a survey, a free survey through like MailChimp. Not MailChimp, I'm sorry, SurveyMonkey. You can go to surveymonkey.com. You can email your email list. But it's something that I just ask on an ongoing basis. As I'm working with clients, I find out. And so that you just want that to be an ongoing process. But actually, even you simply doing the activity of creating that ideal client character, giving he or she a name, picking an age, do they live near you or not? I mean, what are their challenges? Why are they open to looking for solutions now? And you create a character. Maybe it's, Tired Terry or, Depressed Donna or whatever it may be. Once you actually do that activity, you'll be amazed at how figuring out where they are gets so much easier, so much easier. So all right, let's talk about marketing strategies. One thing was Facebook, right? I'm sure a lot of you have considered Facebook as a marketing strategy. Almost everyone and their grandmother is on Facebook. Almost, right? Whether they'd be open to hearing your marketing message depending on what it is that you sell, that's sort of the second question to ask yourself. But ladies, there are so many different marketing strategies at our disposal right now. Why not pick ones that fit your personality? So again, instead of doing a little bit of everything, pick 3 core strategies, just 3. Focus on getting those strategies up and running, utilize them to the fullest, maximize them, give yourself that gift of momentum, and then continue to grow into that marketing plan. Get better and better and better. Like, for example, one of my strategies last year was I do a weekly video. It's called 3 Tips in 3 Minutes. And it goes in my blog post, and it goes out in my e-zine, and it's posted on social media, and it's housed on YouTube. Well, part of it was just getting that up and running, right? So I figured what I would talk about every single week, and I just got consistent with creating a video every single week. Well, this year my focus is to create higher quality videos, right, where my YouTube channel is completely branded, where that when I post the video and upload it there, that I'm more fully utilizing keyword, search engine optimization, the keywords, and that I actually am even importing a script. If you import the script of that video, it also then helps with search engine optimization. But you know what? Sometimes we get so overwhelmed by that, I didn't let myself. I just said, let me just create a video, like from my webcam, right? That maybe it's going to be low quality, but I'm just communicating with my list. So know that you just got to start somewhere, get it up and running, and then you get better and better and better at it. So your winning strategies, I always encourage folks to think about these 3 things in particular, because I'm going to share some strategies with you. And there's not a one-size-fits-all, right? You may have 2 health coaches who have different strategies, or 2 massage therapists who have different strategies, because that massage therapist is different, right? Their personalities are different, and their strengths and what they prefer to do, and maybe how much time they've got to devote to their business, or maybe even their ideal client might be different. Maybe one massage therapist focuses more on like prenatal massage, and another one is more rest and relaxation massage. So their ideal client would be different. But look at this lovely Venn diagram, and the middle part, what's highlighted there in brown, those are your winning strategies. So you want to pick a strategy that fits your personality, right? That feels like you, feels like you can do that. It doesn't feel icky. And to pick strategies that will effectively connect with your ideal client. So I already know my ideal client, Ready to Ramp It Up Rhonda, right? And Ready to Ramp It Up Rhonda most likely would be open to, not only do I connect with my ideal client, but where would she be open to hearing my message, right? Because Ready to Ramp It Up Rhonda, me having my same marketing message, she very well might be open to hearing that message if it's about a free webinar that comes into her Facebook news feed, versus if I just strike a conversation with her at the grocery store and give her my sales message then, right? It's the same person. It's my same sales message. But where would she be open? Where would he or she be open to hearing that message, right? They're expecting to hear that message. And then lastly, strategies that you can commit to doing consistently. Like if the thought of writing a weekly blog post, maybe you like writing, right, and you believe it's a great way to reach your ideal client and it's a great way to increase your expert status, but the thought of writing a blog post every week, you'd rather stick a needle in your eye, then I would generally say steer away from that at first. Just pick strategies that you can commit to doing consistently, because if we're not doing them consistently, you might as well not do them. The key is consistency. Again, too often, what do? We're pushing the boulder up and we let it slide down. And then we push it up again and we let it slide down. Stop that. That start and stop marketing is getting you nowhere. So again, do less, but do things that you can commit to doing consistently. And I love this visual. And I know it's not very philosophical or high tech, but my recommendation is if a marketing strategy, even if it works for your best friend, right, and they have gotten so many leads out of it, if it feels icky to you, don't do it, right? I mean, generally you're pretty similar to your ideal client, so you're generally a pretty good gauge. So if it feels icky to you, like some of you may be like, I do not want to send out an email newsletter. That feels icky. I hate receiving them. And if that's the case, that's okay. That doesn't need to be your keep in touch strategy. Let's brainstorm and figure out another strategy. The key is you do need to be developing a relationship, right, and dripping on people and adding value, but let's figure out a way that doesn't feel icky. Because if it feels icky, aren't you going to find every reason in the book to procrastinate? Absolutely. All right, so what are some strategies? Live networking is one of the best ways to grow your business as one of your 3 strategies. if it fits your personality, if you think you can reach your ideal client. So there are networking groups. Go to meetup.com, and you'll be surprised at how many networking groups are around you. Or there are the more formal groups like BNI.com that are more hardcore. You got to go every single week. The expectation is you're passing referrals, but it's a great way to grow your business. Or start your own. I had my own. When I was working at that job, I created my own networking event so that I was bringing my ideal clients to me. And it wasn't weekly. It was only 2 times a month, and it was over lunch from 12 to 1 so that I could run and do it and leave. But live networking is fabulous. But find groups that work for you. They all have different personalities. The second networking group, Candy, it's the leads group that I have here, BNI. So you can go to bni.com. I don't know what that stands for, Business Networking International maybe. But I'm sure there are plenty of BNI groups that are meeting around you, absolutely. Or your Chamber of Commerce. But finding some live networking groups, a couple that feel right, they fit your personality, that would be great. Or online networking. Is that where your market's hanging out? On Facebook or Pinterest or Twitter. Again, most people are on Facebook. Or what about referrals? Is that a core strategy of yours? Is that a key? Like for a massage therapist, for example, that would be great for that to be one of your core strategies. That you have a referral program for your clients, right? You're loving on your current clients. You've got some referral partners. Maybe you're working with like a chiropractor and a physical therapist, and you are referring each other business. So referrals can be great. Or publicity. Do you have PR-worthy stuff going on in your business? Maybe you won an award or a certification. What you see on the screen here, you can go to prlog.org. That's where you can actually submit some free PR about your business. Or you can also go, the other suggestion here is HARO, Help a Reporter Out. And what that is, you can subscribe to this free service, and they will let you know, hey, all these different writers all across the United States that have deadlines on stories, they'll say, hey, we're looking for a financial expert to give a quote on this. So you can imagine getting a quote could be pretty powerful for your business. Or speaking. There's no better way to grow your business for most of the businesses than speaking. Either live at a networking meeting or you put together your own talk and invite people to that talk. And be posting questions that you have around this too, because I know we're going to be wrapping up in about 5 minutes. Or virtually, teleseminars, webinars. There's no better way than webinars. Oh my gosh. You do it from the comfort of your own home, in your pajamas, right? And you're talking on a topic that's of interest to your ideal client. Or writing your own weekly blog. Or you could be a guest blogger. You can actually take one of your blogs and turn it into an article. The example here, ezinearticles.com. It's a free ezine directory. You can go ahead and submit your article, and then you're going to be on the web more, right? And then you can have a resource box. They ask you for a resource box, something about you, and you have a link to your website or something you're giving away. Or maybe you want to write books or ebooks. So maybe writing is one of your strategies. Or videos. Something as simple as getting in front of a webcam and you're just talking to your list. You're just giving them a little tip, right? You could do it for your own list or post it on social media. You house it on YouTube. So maybe videos is one of your strategies. Or how about events? Maybe working at a vendor show or a trade show. So that health coach, I would recommend that she find the different bridal expos, right? You can go, this website here is tsnn.com. It tells you different trade shows. So if you went to tsnn.com and plugged in brides, it would tell you all the bridal shows that are in your area or that are in the United States. Or maybe advertising, right? Now, advertising is more generally for those who've got deeper pockets, but there's nothing like targeted Facebook ads right now. You say exactly, I only want this post to show up, for women between the ages of 30 and 60 who live in my state and, who also like these types of pages, these health these health pages or these bridal pages, right? The Knot is one example of a Facebook page. If someone likes The Knot, they most likely are a bride or a bride-to-be or recently were a bride. So that's a great strategy as well. But again, you want to pick strategies that fit your personality, they connect to your ideal client, and it's strategies that you can do consistently. So what would a plan look like? So again, it's about simplicity. It's about I always like what's called the power of three. Let me move this chat down here. The power of three. So again, I just picked 3 strategies. And it's about strategies that feel authentic and about being consistent. It's about getting good and consistent with them and then just continuing to gain your mastery. That's what it's about. So here's an example. This is how I would recommend you create a marketing plan. So this is just one strategy, right? So I'm encouraging you to have 3 strategies. So if your first strategy was live networking, I encourage you to take that down to the power of 3 one step further. So pick about 3 groups. If that's one of your strategies, I don't think being part of just one group is going to be enough. It's not going to give you enough bang for your buck. But you also don't want to be part of like 10 different groups, because how are you really going to get to know people, right? So pick 2, 3, 4 groups if that's one of your strategies. And then the most important part is this last part, these ongoing marketing action items where you say, okay, and you can have like 8 to 10 ongoing marketing action items where you say, okay, what am I going to do to make the most of live networking? And they're small, they're just being intentional. Like that you're going to attend 90% of the meetings. That's an ongoing marketing action item. You're going to block these out on your calendar and you're going to go. This is watering your money tree. It's not just when you're available, right? Maybe you're going to have at least one one-on-one meeting a week. So you're taking that time to meet with someone else either before or after a networking event just to get to know them, develop a relationship. You're going to send a handwritten card after each one-on-one. Send a glad you were able to come email to a guest that was there at the networking. It's these things. You do these things consistently. That's what it's about. So for me, my 3 core strategies are live networking. So I'm part of 2 to 3 networking groups. Online social networking. So for me, it's Facebook. I have a podcast, a weekly podcast where I interview an expert. So I'm on iTunes. And I create a weekly 3 tips in 3 minutes video where that I house that on YouTube. And then my 3rd strategy is increasing my expert status. So how do I do that? I do that through writing. I write a weekly blog post for my website. I do that through speaking, through webinars. I offer 1 to 2 webinars a month. And the 3rd thing I do is I actually offer what's called giveaway events, where I partner with other experts that serve the same market, and we give away free content, and people are opting in for that. So I'm surrounding myself with other experts, and we're providing a solution. Those are my 3 strategies: live networking, online networking, and increasing my expert status. But you really just want to be intentional, right? You just want to get to know more and more people, build relationships. You want to build referral networks. You want to start that dating relationship with the client. You want to love on your current clients. That's truly what it's about. So overall, just to wrap things up, marketing simplified is, please, ladies, say no to the shiny object syndrome, right? Less is more. Focus on your core 3 strategies. And if it feels icky, don't do it. So have a marketing plan and work the marketing plan, right? And just see what's been working. What's been working, and do more of that. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. So remember, here is your sales and marketing funnel, right? So we want a steady stream of new, hungry, ideal clients and leads. This is working your marketing plan. Then we want a consistent keep-in-touch strategy to deepen that relationship. So we've got to figure out, just get a simple keep-in-touch strategy. And then lastly, we want a sales conversion to convert those leads into sales, right? Whether it's really great copy on your sales page or it's a sales conversation. And until we have all 3 parts of the sales and marketing funnel up and running, our business is going to suffer. But you can get those 3 parts up and running. unfortunately, most people are like this in their business. This is their first 2 to 5 years in business. Their profitability is nowhere near, $8,000 to $15,000 a month. And it's because of what? They don't have their sales and marketing funnel up and running. So how about you be like this group that gets the pieces up and running, and they just do it consistently to increase that profitability. That is what it's about. All right. So, ladies, you have a choice. You can either keep on going, right, and picking up bits and pieces of information and have a sales and marketing funnel that's broken or that's got holes, or you can just consciously put together all 3 parts of that sales and marketing funnel. And it starts with creating a plan, just figuring three strategies that feel right. That's what it's about. So, ladies, I know our time is up, and go ahead and chat in if there's any specific questions that you have while we wrap it up. But I wanted to give you a great invitation. Some of you may be thinking, Claire, I just don't know. I don't know what those 3 core marketing strategies could be for me. I just don't see how what should my marketing plan be? What should my keep in touch strategy be, right? You're like, I hear you, Claire, that we should have this sales and marketing funnel up and running in order to have this family-focused, streamlined, highly profitable business, but I just don't see it for me. So I encourage you, go to talkwithclaire.com. I'm blocking out some time in my calendar over the next week or so to talk with you, to breathe belief in you that it is absolutely possible. It's absolutely possible to get a couple of your core rinse and repeat marketing strategies up and running. So you can find, hundreds of new ideal leads each month, right, and start converting them to clients. All right? So please do that. Go to talkwithclaire.com. Good. I'm glad hopefully you're able to see that sales and marketing is about simplification, right? It's about doing less but doing those things consistently, but picking things that feel right, that fit your personality. So great. And just go ahead and chat again. Any questions that you've got as we're ending the call now? And again, I encourage you to go to talkwithclaire.com. My specialty is really to help the service-based provider. So again, those of you that are maybe your coaches or practitioners, health or a business coach or a healer, a life coach, a sleep coach, or you're a consultant of some type, maybe a web designer or a virtual assistant. I would love to breathe belief into you and to see that you too can have a family-focused, streamlined, highly profitable business. Great. It looks like some of you, you're submitting your applications to talk and got some on the books. Wonderful. Great. Absolutely. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I know we're 5 minutes over, so I just appreciate you ladies calling in, and I'm going to go ahead and send out this replay as well if there was any piece that you missed or you wanted to go back to a prior slide. And I just appreciate your time, and thank you, and I'm just looking forward to talking with you again. Go to talkwithclaire.com. Just check it out, and I'd love for you to submit and for us just to hop on the phone, and let's talk about this. Let's 2014 be phenomenal for you ladies, okay? All right, you're very, very welcome. You guys have a great, great day, and I'm going to end the call now. Bye, ladies.